I really hope that the concept that I'm going to share in this video really helps you get closer to the life that you want and get more out of your day, especially because I feel like a lot of us, we know exactly what we need to do. There's so many of us who have this goal of whether it's losing weight or getting into a financial goal. You know what you need to do. We already know what it takes to get there, but still there's a lot of us that like struggle with making the choices every day to get there. Or you'll make the choice maybe for about a week, but you fall off and you're very inconsistent. And I feel like this concept is really helpful when it comes to just keeping this small little thing in the back of your head. And this is like the deciding factor between either making the choice or not making the choice. And for me, I think this is one of the main reasons why I'm able to stay so consistent, so disciplined, and so committed to my goals, because I constantly have like this theory in the back of my mind when it comes to trying to decide, do I want to lay in bed at 5 in the morning or do I want to get up and go to the gym like I said I was gonna do? There's so many of us who every single day you tell yourself that you're gonna do something and you constantly break that promise to yourself. And I think if you stick through the video and you listen to this theory and this concept, is so helpful between just making that choice and like regardless of how you feel, sticking to the plan, because ultimately that's literally what you have to do. So I was actually on TikTok when I seen this video, and it was super funny because the video was coming from a personal trainer, which I absolutely love. I literally followed him after, love his content, very motivational and very just no BS and straightforward. And he was talking about how his client, and love the For You page on there because the client popped up maybe like a day later, but he was talking about he had got a new client and the client asked him like, how are you with like sweet treats? How are you with ice cream? What do you think about treating yourself to ice cream every now and then? And the trainer was kind of like, I don't know what you want to say. Like, what response are you expecting me to say? Because regardless, you're gonna do what you want to do. But on the flip side, he's like, make the decision that tomorrow morning's version of you will be proud of. And I just like, that shifted my whole perspective, because so many of us are like, live in the moment and like, I need to reward myself with this. And then we wake up the next morning, we feel so guilty, we feel so shitty about the decisions that we made, and we feel like it set us back. And I think especially with something so straightforward as fitness, and it really is a mental game, it's like, you know what is going to come from you eating the ice cream. You know you're going to wake up feeling like you wasted your time. You've been here before and still you want to continue to do the same things. Like, you cannot continue to do the same things and think that you're going to get a different result. But even bigger than that, like, do it for that future version of you that wakes up tomorrow. And I think that's super huge and really like a very missed concept until you make the choice and then you wake up the next morning and you're like, why did I go out last night and binge drink and do all this? Now you're at the gym, you're feeling bad, and then ultimately potentially it could set you back and you could miss your next workout because you just feel like it was all for nothing. The truth and like the matter is that it's in the small everyday decisions and choices that we make that are going to push us closer to our goals. And the people that win are the people that are able to sacrifice a little bit of stuff. Like the people who are able to make sacrifices now, that are going to benefit their future self, because they constantly have their future self in the back of their mind. And that's what they're doing it for. Like, they're doing it for that future version of you who will be so grateful and so thankful for the decisions that you're making every single day, no matter how small they are. Like, if you say that you're going to go on a walk, that when you wake up tomorrow morning, will future version of you be, if you say you're going to go on a walk when you get off, if you say that you're going to go on a walk when you get off of work tonight and you don't go on the walk, how is the future version of you going to feel? Are they going to be disappointed with you, or are they going to be happy with that decision? And it's like, you're going to feel it, and the feeling is so horrible. It literally feels like you're breaking a promise to a little kid. And or maybe that's just me, but that's how it feels to me. And as someone who, like, you know, it's like an adult telling you, promising you something, you're going to hold on to that for a very long time. Don't do that to yourself. Like, literally do not do that to you. Do not do that to future version of you. The next time that you're making a decision and you're making a choice, keep your future version of yourself in the back of your head a switch. Like, it's not that hard to make the decision anymore because you've been there before. You know how it feels. I think that right now it's so easy to get caught up in like what feels good right now. Sitting up all night watching Netflix feels good. Laying in bed past 5 a.m. getting just an extra 15 minutes of sleep feels so good. Going out on the weekends, which like, it all feels good in the moment. But when you have a goal and you're trying to get get somewhere, you have to think about, how will tomorrow's version of me feel? Like, how am I going to wake up feeling the next day? How are you ultimately going to feel about yourself? And then what is going to be like the consequence of your actions? When you constantly pause and ask yourself that question, no matter how small the decision is, it's just like, how will tomorrow's version of me feel? It helps so much in just making smarter choices and making choices that are going to benefit the future version of yourself and get you to your goals. Because I feel like the whole point is, especially if you clicked on this video, you have a goal, you're trying to get somewhere, trying to change your life, even if it's just as small as fitness, weight loss, whatever it is, you have the goal, and every single day you have to decide who you're going to show up as and who you're going to be and what decisions you're going to make. And that way, keep it in the back of your head, like, how am I going to feel tomorrow if I make this choice? Whatever the choice is so helpful, and it's like that little deciding factor that you get. The one thing that I love about the tomorrow version of you theory is that ultimately you're building a better version of yourself day by day, and you're doing it just in the small little habits and decisions that you make. It's not like you have to wake up one day and say, oh, I'm gonna run 6 miles, I'm gonna have no carbs today, I'm gonna have no fat, I'm gonna get in 200 grams of protein. It's not about that. It's just about making the small little decisions that are gonna benefit you. So if you say, oh, I'm gonna go on a 10-minute walk, and you actually do that 10-minute walk, that is helping you become a better version of yourself. And even if it's not physically, even if you have no aspirations for changing how you look physically, it changes your it changes your mentality so much. You become the most confident person ever. You become so disciplined. You just become a better all-around person when you're someone who does what they say that they're going to do every single day. People are going to see it on you. People are going to get around you, and they're going to start respecting you because you're respecting yourself. People are going to love you. More people are going to start falling in love with you because you're showing yourself the highest form of self-love and self-respect. And this is what is going to be mirrored to you in your life. Ultimately, by keeping the future you like in the back of your head and committing to this tomorrow version of you theory, you're building a better version of yourself, and you're making an investment in the person that you'll be tomorrow. And I think investing in yourself is the best and greatest thing that you can do. You are going to be your greatest investment. You're going to be the greatest project that you work on in your life. And by committing to your future self every single day, you're investing in yourself. I always think of it as like all you're doing is adding money to like this imaginary bank account. And it's really not about money. It's not about the bank account, but it's about becoming like the most greatest version of you that your little version of yourself will be so proud of and just like admires. And it's such a way to just like fall in love with you. And I don't say all that to say that the current version of you now doesn't deserve that love and doesn't deserve that respect. But like I said, when you're trying to get somewhere and you have a goal, it's really not about the end goal. It's about who you become in the process. This theory is just such a great theory for like breaking bad habits, and it's so small and so mundane and just not even that big. By just stopping and asking yourself, will tomorrow's version of me be proud of the decisions that I make today? I feel like it just creates a gap, and it creates space for you to make the decision. It creates enough space for you to think twice about what you're gonna do. And when you do think twice and you're like, you know what, let me just stick to the plan, let me just stick to what I said I was gonna do, you feel so much better, and all you're doing is gaining so much self-respect for yourself. Imagine how much greater like your tomorrow version of yourself is gonna feel that you took action on what you said you were gonna do. You went to bed early like you said you would. You woke up early like you said you would. You ate your meal prep. You drank your water. You did your workout. You finished your task at work. Whatever it is that like the goal is gonna be specific to you. But I'm pretty sure there has been at least one instance where you have stuck to the plan and you have done what you said you were gonna do. Remember that feeling. Connect to that feeling when it comes to you trying to make that decision. Connect to how the future version of you felt when you stuck to the plan, you did what you were gonna do, and you stayed disciplined and you stayed consistent. I always try to connect to the feeling of after a workout when I do not feel like getting out of bed at 5 a.m. I try to connect to how good I'm gonna feel when I leave the gym, and how just proud of myself, and how disciplined, and how I'm like building my dream body, and whatever it is, I try to connect to that end result feeling. And it's super helpful. And I know it's such a small tool, but you have to try it, especially if you're one of those people who just fall off so much and you have just been so inconsistent for a majority of the year. You have less than 100 days left in this year. Try something different. Literally, it's only 100 days. Try something something different. Try staying committed to the future version of yourself. Try staying committed to what you say you're going to do every single day. The way that you're going to practice this every single day is that when you're making a decision, you're asking yourself, you're thinking about it. How will the tomorrow version of me that wakes up tomorrow feel about the decision that I make? How am I going to feel when I wake up in the morning and I binge watched Netflix, sat up all night, ate pizza, had a Diet Coke? How will tomorrow version of me feel about that? This is how you practice this and put it in like your real life every single day, at least for the next week. Try it, give it a try just for 1 week. Tomorrow's version of you and even 3-month version of you is a direct result of the decisions that you make. And it's so helpful when you get reminded that the reason most of the time that we are where we are is because it's a direct result of the actions we took, the thoughts that we had, and the beliefs that we also had about ourselves. I think we have to be committed to making decisions that the future version of ourselves would be proud of, even in the smallest of ways, because the future is not just something that happens. Most of us just don't get to our goals by luck. It's something that we're constantly creating through our daily decisions, through our daily thoughts, actions, the words that we say, and by keeping those promises to ourselves and making decisions that the future version of us is going to be so thankful and so proud of you for. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know, I felt really pressed to do a longer version of this video and really go into detail and go in depth on this topic, because when I was in the thick of like trying to lose weight and trying to lose my fat, it was such a struggle and it was so hard to convince myself that it was going to be worth it. But what I did was remind myself, future version of you is going to love that you stuck to the plan. She's going to be so appreciative, so thankful, and so grateful that you were able to make choices that of course were hard, but that you knew that were going to benefit yourself. So always keep that in the back of your head. Like I said, try it for the next 7 days. I don't know, I want to hear your thoughts on this and any other tips that have helped you stay consistent and reach a goal. Leave it in the comments. I will see you guys in my next video.